Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural edition of the BioWare Social Nebulous podcast thing. At least that's the name I have for it right now, just because I'm not really sure what we'll be talking about week to week. Sometimes we'll be talking about things going on in the studio. Sometimes we'll be talking about, I don't know, whatever's on our mind right now. Other times we'll be talking about the games we work on, like today, where we'll be talking about Dragon Age Legends and cool stuff you didn't know about it. So I am Brett Bates, community manager here at BioWare San Francisco, and I also have with me Andy Korzik, not to be confused with Korsnick, the NPC, right? Andy is one of the designers on the game. He does most of the items and weapons, so if you have any issues with what the stats are like, you can email. No, I won't do that. So say hi, Andy.
Hey, this is Andy Korzik.
We also have with us John Motz, who has been our lead QA guy for some time now, also known as the Scrum Master on the team because he makes sure shit gets done, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the characters and why they don't have any skin. Andy, you had some insight into that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, understandably ask why is all our armor pretty similar? I mean, why can't we show a lot more skin with our armor? I know a lot of players who have female characters want,
Cleavage.
female armor with,
Yes.
I mean, something that's more feminine even, and players who. People with male armor, why don't we have anything that, shows arms or chest?
Yeah.
And it's pretty minimal, but why can the NPCs do that? Why can the enemies that you're fighting, they have armor, why can't we have it? And, the main issue with that is the fact that the armor is the player's skin. So the way that our animation works is if you remove the armor, you have a disembodied head just floating in space. It's either the armor itself is the only layer that exists,
Which I think actually happens sometimes when the assets don't load. Right?
It is. When players often see characters with disembodied heads or characters that go fully invisible, and a lot of that is because something with the armor or the animation's going wrong. So unfortunately, we weren't able to have a more, complex system where we have skin underneath the armor. But with Flash, it's just in terms of processor, how intensive it is, what Flash can handle, what people's computers can handle. It's something that we weren't able to get, we weren't able to do, and so that by consequence, we weren't able to show skin. Now I know recently we've been trying to do things with the elf ears and things like that different versions of different colors that match players' skin, and that's the closest we can get, but. Unfortunately, we have 9 skin tones, or we have a lot of skin tones that takes a lot of time to match every single one of them, and we're not going to be able to do more than a couple for a few items.
Yeah. So along those lines, why don't we talk a little bit about the no helmet and why that took so long to get in the game?
Unfortunately, the way that the animation rigging is, it's tough to make it so that the helmet doesn't appear. The hide helmet option is something that is in other games. It's something that players expect to have in the game.
Once you put the helmet on for the first time,
Yeah.
there was no way to ever take it off.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't even have an option to de-equip it because we didn't certain limitations in the inventory. But what we ended up doing was kind of it wasn't the solution that we originally had intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was kind of a goofy solution, and we think players. It's not the most realistic, but the no helmet is, kind of something that's fun. And it's actually just a helmet that doesn't have any art. So the game is trying to find the art, and it can't find it, therefore it doesn't show anything. And so that's basically the equivalent. It's the same thing like I was saying with the skin. If the armor doesn't exist, there's nothing behind it. So helmet goes above the head. It's different than the body in that there is that 2 layers, and so when you don't have a helmet showing up, nothing. When you can't have the art assets for the helmet, nothing shows up. Yeah. And so we made the no helmet when the vanity items came out because that gave us the perfect opportunity to let the players have the take off the helmet feature.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Like my hero is the one that has the big afro and the big bushy beard.
Yeah.
And like every helmet that I had, his hair would always stick out the back of it. So I like the clean look of him with no helmet on now.
Yeah.
Is your hero?
Oh, sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was going to say, is your hero actually yourself in Dragon Age?
Myself,
Or have you-
circa college. I used to have massively large hair and a big old beard. I looked a bit like Jesus.
And you don't wear the oversized Brett Bates head that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wear that sometimes. I don't have it on now.
Okay.
I have worn that in the past. Yeah, if you guys don't know, there is actually a head in the game. It's a vanity item. Did we put that in the store? Is it available for purchase now? We gave it away to some people as part of a
don't
contest.
think it is. No, it's not in the store. It's only
I think
for
that might have
limited
been something
people.
that we released.
We might have to rectify that.
Yeah, I think that might be something we released recently, but not. I think for a long time it was.
Yeah.
It was only for the Halloween or for the story contest that one of our fans held in a Facebook group.
Yeah. So yes, if you see the Brett Bates helmet, that is actually my head. My beard is not that epic. That was made specifically for our Beard of Legends contest, but I do have a beard.
Well, I just want to say on top of that, the invisible weapons fit on top of that. That's something players were asking for a long time after the no helmet.
Invisible weapons, just like have your fists.
Yeah, using your fists or using your hands to cast magical things. And so those are pretty much the exact same way that the no helmet works. And so that's something the players had been wanting for a long time.
Yeah. Did we actually implement that ever?
We will be.
Ah. You mean we have?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
By the time you hear this, it'll have been done.
A bit of tense mix-up.
We're recording this podcast in the past.
That's right.
Okay, so let's see what else we can talk about. There's also a cool little story about how our game actually ended up on Google+. We originally planned this game just to be on Facebook. Obviously, Google Plus was just a twinkle in Google's eye at that point. So we weren't really thinking about it, and we weren't really planning to do anything with it. But EA had planned to be one of the launch studios for Google Plus, and the studio that was working on a game had to pull out because they weren't able to get it finished in time. And our platform team is really awesome, and the way they wrote their code is pretty agnostic, so it didn't really matter whether it was Facebook, Google+, whatever. So they said, hey, we can do this, and they pretty much turned it around in a week, which is pretty amazing. Those guys did an awesome job. And so what that means is that the Dragon Age you see on Google+, and the Dragon Age Legends you see on Facebook are the exact same game. We only work on one version of it, and when we push, it gets pushed to both automatically.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. I mean, I can't having to check Google Plus and Facebook at the same time. I mean, there are some issues with certain platforms.
Of course.
But it never involves the game data. We only have to test one version of the game for the most part, which is one of the things that helps us be able to create more stuff. Because we don't have to spend so much time doing two versions of it.
Yeah. I mean, there have been some unfortunate differences between the two. I know a lot of players are having issues with friends for a long time on Google+, but that was an issue on Google's end. It didn't actually have to do with our code. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think theoretically it would be possible to have the same character on both versions, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's more of a, Facebook and Google don't really want to play together, just like, you can't put your 360 game into your PS3.
Yeah, I mean, I think the character data is pretty much the same, but I think a lot of things having to do with the friends, obviously, would be...
Of course, that would be a hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, we would have to... Yeah, it's just the matter of transferring data, but we don't have a way to do that at the moment.
Yeah, one day, maybe.
I think the other thing that neat thing to note is the fact that we were EA's first game on Google+, and among the first games to be available on Google+.
Yeah, one of the launch titles. That was like great work on everyone here around the studio. They really did an awesome job with that.
Yeah, I think the time that it took, being able to see the results so fast is just a testament to how well
all
the
the
team
platform team hold themselves up in one of the conference rooms here. Didn't really come out. It smelled terrible in there, but they got the job done. That was impressive. So, all right. Well, let's see. Do you guys have any other stories that you want to talk about? Things that you think people might want to know they don't know about Dragon Age.
I mean, I think one thing that I get asked by players, probably aside from game bugs and game issues and what's coming out soon, is why my character is not a higher level. And I think one thing that I guess it's players don't know is that we have multiple versions of the game that we have for our purposes. We have, the live game that's out there, and I have level, I think mid-20s, 26 character, which isn't that high, but then we have 2 versions of the game in-house. We have more than 2 versions of the game, but 2 main versions. A development one for where we create our content, and then we have one where we, hold all the content that's ready to be released soon that we're testing on. And I've probably spent 2-3 times more time on the one that we do bug fixes and we do testing on than I have on the live game itself. I mean, I've played through probably all the content twice through just because we spend so much time working on this game to try to get it bug free that that's pretty much where I'm spending all my time. I played a lot of Dragon Age Legends, but unfortunately it doesn't show up on the live version of the game.
So basically you're trying to convince people that you are not a Dragon Age Legends noob.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm pretty bad too. I think I'm at level 20 with my prod character. But like you said, we're always playing on what's called stage, which is right before something goes live.
Yes.
And then there's also master. But yes, we play the game all the time.
Yeah.
Trust us.
I'm definitely not as good as a lot of the people that I've seen in the Team Increase group. But I mean, I definitely have a lot of the strategy and have a lot of the build and how characters are related. How mage, warrior, rogue. I mean, we definitely balance out a lot of that, and we have to know inside and out the system in order to do that. So I mean, I spend most of my time on an environment where I delete my character regularly.
Yeah. But John here, he cheats with his live character too.
My live character made it to level 12.
Okay. And then you just upped him to level 60 one day. I remember that.
Yes, he jumped. But in my defense, I have played, I think, every bit of everything in the game.
I think you've probably played more hours of it than anyone around here.
I would say that.
Yes, but I am impressed with the Dell Increase, having done a number of raids with them.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal in how well they know our game. They are incredibly fast, and they give me a run for my money when it comes to getting through each of the battles as quick as possible.
I mean, I would say that I have done a raid before. I've done multiple raids. Okay, I've done multiple raids, but I have done the High Dragon raid before when it first came out, even though my character's only level 26. And fortunately, it was the day that we had the bug the night that we had the bug where everybody got platinum right off the bat. So I can say that I have gotten platinum on High Dragon raid, even though my level may not show it.
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, why don't we wrap this up now? Thanks for coming on, guys. We're going to be starting to do this hopefully on a weekly basis. It might be bi-weekly to start. But like I said, we'd be talking about whatever's on our mind and interesting things going around the studio, interesting things going around here at EA. And I hope you guys listen. All right, cool. All right, thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace out.